Hello everyone, this is Mohammed Al Sharif. Today is Monday, the 1st of February 2021. It's now around almost 1 p.m. Today we're going to welcome to my channel first. This is my first video in the channel, and today we are going to cover all the market sectors in ASICS 200. And the first thing we are going to do is we are going to start with a chart of the S&P ASX 200. And now we will start with the monthly chart. Of course, first of all, we always start with the highest time frame. So we'll check the monthly, weekly, and daily. The monthly time frame here, we look at this resistance area here. There was a previous touch to this resistance here, a high in 2007, and this is the second touch here around 2019, and now we have the third touch. And you look at, check those long wicks here, like some sort of tweezer tops. So we have long wicks rejecting this resistance on the monthly time frame. Now I'm not saying that we are going to see a definite bearish or reversal momentum with the S&P ASX 200. Just some sort of reaction. That's all what we are going to see. Some sort of reaction to this important monthly resistance level for the time being, at least, like for a couple of weeks or so. We will see. We will see now when we go to the weekly and daily, and we'll see how it goes. Now, of course, if we break above this resistance, so the next target would be the highest high here at 7136. Now, bear in mind that this highest high was a false breakout. If you think of it, if you look at the chart here, when I zoomed, it was a false breakout. Price went all the way down, broke the channel, and went back again into the channel, and there was a very nice upward channel here, but then tried to break above the previous high. It didn't work out. It went down and then back up again, now touching the resistance again. Now we will go to the weekly chart. With the weekly chart, you see here, this is a broadening formation that is happening. Broadening formations, so this formation here, you can say that this is a flag, you can call it a flag. So all of this, the pole, and then this broadening formation acting as the flag. Now, flag is typically a bullish thing, like, because prices, when it breaks above the upper boundary, definitely it's better when it is a channel like this. So you have, this is the flag here, and this is the pole, and this is the pole. So if you have a pole like this, and then you have a flag, and then a breakout above this one, so it's a bullish thing. However, with sorry, I'll just delete those lines quickly. However, with a broadening formation, it's a sign of bearishness, and it's typically seen at support and resistance. It's definitely at resistance level, has more significant meaning, because price, then you definitely, sometimes with an indicator, if you have a MACD or something, or RSI, you see a sort of divergence here, and the price breaks below this level and then continues down. In our case, we cannot say this so far. We cannot predict it, because we need to break below first to say it's bearish. So since we have a broadening formation at resistance, doesn't mean literally that we it's just a sign of weakness, a sign of bearish possible bearish momentum. Anyway, we look at the daily chart now. Now we will find here that although this area acted as support, and it tried today, this is today's session, you see price went all the way down, breaking this support level here, but found the support to where at the lowest low in this broadening formation. This broadening formation here, this is the lowest low, found the support, and possibly it's going to end within a couple of hours. Yeah, so maybe it closes with this hammer, which is a very bullish sign for today. That means price bounce it back up for, well, if today's close is a hammer like this one, testing here, rejecting the support, rejecting to go lower than this level, goes all the way back up, then definitely we will look for the for this week, for next couple days, we want to see more bullish candles here. And with those more bullish candles, then we go on top. Let's assume there are some candles here, and we will draw this small rectangle here. Let's say there are some bullishness here, and then we need to see a breakout above this rectangle here, a small rectangle for resistance, which would act as a resistance in this case. So assumably we have some sort of candles here, 1 2 3 4, and then breaks above. When it does this, then we can assume that there is more bullishness and that price respected the areas of support here, whether this one or that one, and then may continue to test the highs again. But so far we cannot confirm this. We need to see more bullish candles, ideally some sort of congestion or tight range here, and then a breakout either on daily, or maybe we even can go to 4 hour, let's say, or 3 hour, whatever. 4 hour chart is more or less half day. So anyway, that's the broader view of the index so far. Okay. Sorry. Pardon me. Now we're going with the first sector here to analyze. Now we're going to sectors. Now we are done with the index itself. We look at the first sector, which is the healthcare sector. We go to the monthly chart first. Now we can see here that price, the sector is within a range, on a monthly range. Some support here. We go to the weekly. Well, respected the support here, might break out. And those are possible stops for price. This area here, and this will be clearer in the daily chart. But just what we get out of from the weekly chart is that we have some sort of a range, and price is at support, and we'll see if it will continue its trip up. We look at the daily chart here. The daily chart looks really nice. Now, why is that? Because now price bounced from this support level here, went up, went down, up, created a small range in the daily time frame, and what we are anticipating now is that price would break above. Once it breaks above this level here, then we can assume that bullishness may continue. Definitely the best thing to do is to break above and then retest. So if we extend this here, goes above and then goes down, retest, and then up again, then we can definitely assume that there is a bullish momentum, and price created a tight range, broke out of it, retested, all bullish signs. We are at weekly support, we are at monthly support. Then the odds are in our favor that price would resume or the sector would be bullish in the next few weeks. But now we don't have this yet. We are still within the daily range, and we need to break above it. Why I chose this level in particular? Because this was the immediate reaction, the immediate impulse from this support level was to go all the way up here and then back down, which is a healthy thing because we need a range. It's better to have a small range at a higher time frame support level, and then a break above it would confirm the bullishness, at least in the daily time frame. Okay, now this is the health sector, the healthcare I mean. Let's go to the real estate sector. Let's look at the monthly chart first. Start with monthly chart, not enough history. However, it was bullish momentum, and price is correcting on monthly. This is an area of SR, support resistance. It was resistance in the beginning when price went back up and touching it. Now it is acting as support, so it's a support resistance area. The weekly chart. Okay, now the weekly chart here. Yeah, it's clearer now. At least there's some history and some price action. Initially, we can say that this is a rising wedge. Okay, so a rising wedge is when you have price going this way, and then the angle is this way, and then maybe there is a breakout. If it happens, so a falling wedge, a rising wedge is a sign of bearishness in the future. So if price breaks below the lower boundary, then we can assume there is some bearishness. Early to tell now, The reason for this I'll tell you in a second. It's because we have this support resistance level I just mentioned on the monthly time frame. This is the weekly. We broke above it. We are touching it now. Now we want to make sure that if price breaks below this level, then we can assume it may go and continue to touch the 2959 level here. But we don't have this so far. We don't know yet. We will see if price how it will react to this level here. So we'll go to the daily time frame. The daily time frame is still a bearish, quite bearish, but we cannot conclude that it is bearish or bullish, because we need to see how price will react to this level here. If it goes below it, retest, back again and go all the way down. I mean, if it breaks and retest and then continues to go south, then we can assume it's a bearish one, and the possible next stop would be at the 2962. If there are so many more daily candles here and price goes way up and breaks the trend line, by this time I'll be here and we will analyze it again. But so far we want to watch and see what will happen to this support level, at least on the daily and the weekly, of course. We will see, like, because the trend lines, I know it's not like you don't have to go very strict with trend lines. Just a way of like, for instance, you can draw this trend line here, and you can argue that you can take this out, and then you can argue that there is a sort of channel here, and that price may respect the trend line, this one here. So we will see how it reacts to the support first, and then we see what will happen on the daily time frame. It breaks this minor trend line here. I'm saying minor because it's on the daily one relative to the weekly and monthly, and you see if definitely what we want to see afterwards is if we draw this line here. I'll take out those lines so they don't confuse you. Now if and take the lower boundary of the channel I drew. Now definitely here, if we see the daily chart, we need to see some action here, and then a breakout above this area here at 327 and at 3255 relative. If we break above it, then the next stop would be at this level here. So break above here, then this stop here, or break south here, and then this stop here. Okay, so this is the real estate sector. We look now at the utilities sector. Now the utilities sectors, we go to the monthly. I'll try to make this video quick if I can. If you go to the monthly time frame here, we will see here now price, as you look here, this is very important here. You see all this long wickets was a really, this month price fell down by how much since the open, from the open to here, 20% or 21%. And this wick on its own was 15%. I mean, that's a lot. However, price did find support here. There were lots of buyers in the constituents of this sector. This sector comprises many shares, of course. So those shares, many they found big demand at this level. So many shares were bought at this level, and this was reflected in the sector that bounced. It refused to go further down than this and went all the way up again. So now we are going to examine to see how price will react to this level here. So far, it is going to touch it. That's what it looks like. Like you see at the weekly, very strong downtrend. On the daily, we will see now if price continues to touch this one. I prefer if it touches, to be honest, because then I can look at the daily and weekly and see if there is a reaction to this level and price would go up or would break down. But so far, like I can, well, maybe if we break this level here and then retest it and then back up, then we can assume, okay, maybe it found support here. It didn't want to go and touch the previous support of the weekly and monthly. But it's hard to tell now. We need to wait. All those will be all possible. If there is a breakout above here, above the and it's bullish, then this is the next level. So far, yes, I'm expecting it to go to the 6200. And then we will see from there what happens to the sector. Now the next one is the consumer staples one, and let's look at the sector here. Let's look at the monthly time frame first. The monthly time frame, well, it's an upward trend. It's very clear, like very bullish. No one can argue with it. We look at the weekly chart here. Now we find that in this bullishness, well, there is a weekly resistance. We need to clear above it in order, like this level here is at 1303 and 1296. I always like to draw support and resistance in, because it is not concrete, it is not set in stone. It is dynamic, it changes. So I like to create, to draw small ranges. So if we break above it, we will go up to target this 13511. We currently, we will see now, we look at the daily to see how it's reacting. This here might be acting as a breakout. So price reverse it at the support, picking up again, and may continue to go up, or, well, we cannot tell now what will happen. We have to wait and see. Price goes above this level with a clear breakout, and then retests and some tight range here, and then break out again. Then we can assume that bullishness will continue, and this is what the monthly chart is telling us, and this is what the weekly as well is showing us. Like it's just we are in the middle of a weekly structure. Price bounce it from here, find some resistance here. Relatively to weekly, this is a minor resistance. From a weekly perspective, from a daily perspective, it's an important resistance, of course. So we need to break it out first and then target the higher level. Okay, so that was with the this sector. Now we move on to the next one, which is the energy one. We look at the monthly chart. Okay, now here it gets interesting, because in the monthly chart you see there is a downward channel. I will zoom. See, there is a downward channel. It's very clear, downward channel. And what happened at that price when went up again? Now it touched the previous support level, which is an SR level now, support resistance level now. It's acting at both now, and it touched. You see this long wick? This is a very long rejecting wick. It went all the way up and then down. So let's check the weekly and daily to see what's happening here. Here, this is a pattern here. We see those three candles here. It's a bearish sign, and this is the weekly time frame, and now we are going under the current weekly resistance. So now it's a bearish one now. It's a bearish one, and we may target the lower boundary here. So we may target this level here at somewhere at 70.20. We look at the daily chart here. Now to create, now we may have also here some minor support here on the weekly, on the daily, sorry. So if we break below this daily, then we will target this one here, 6895. We will see what will happen if we break it. So far it is bearish, but we cannot conclude the bearishness until on the daily time frame we break the minor support. Why I'm saying minor support? Because I'm talking about the daily now, relatively speaking now, relatively to the weekly and monthly, it is a minor one. So we will see. I mean, sorry, for the weekly and monthly, it is a minor one. For the weekly and monthly, it is I meant the opposite. For the daily, it is an important support, and we need to break it out. So it's minor, relatively speaking, to the weekly and monthly, but for the daily, it is an important support level. We go up to the next, which one is it now? The financials one. The financials one, as we see here, we go to the monthly first quickly. Okay, so we went back above the previous support resistance level, which is a very bullish sign, of course. This is monthly time frame is very bullish, very strong bullish candle here, and price is respecting the support level, still above it, which is a very bullish sign from monthly perspective. We look at the weekly here. The weekly, or better go to the daily, because it will be clearer. Here we have what was happening here. This is what I was talking about in the previous sectors. This is what's happening in the daily now. There is a tight range on top of the weekly monthly support. There is a breakout here. This is a false breakout, I understand. It went all the way back up, but it should not be considered as very bearish from the weekly and monthly perspective. No, it is bearish here on the daily, but the weekly and monthly is still bullish. So what do I mean by that is that when price, you see here price rejecting this level here, this level of support, this is a tight, like if I take this out, so this was the weekly one, and only look at the daily and here, and remember that below this there was the big weekly and monthly support. So I took this out and now just drawing some rectangles around the arrange around the daily time frame. Price now really respected this today. This is a big strong hammer. It may end up as a hammer by the end of the day. Price respected this level when going up. If it goes back all the way up here and breaks this range here, then yes, we can assume that bullishness will continue, and the next level might be 6272, or let's zoom, see if there are any. I think it's price can really go wherever it wants to go, like maybe here. This is the weekly time frame, by the way. Maybe here, somewhere here, maybe here at 5920. So might be a gain of if it goes up, of course I'm talking, we may gain 3% or so. So and then may go and touch this falling upper boundary. This is the upper boundary here. This one here may touch this trend line here, falling trend line. Okay, now we go to the daily now again. So yes, we definitely need a breakout again, and now we can conclude that there will bullishness will resume. Okay, let's go now to the infotech sector now. Let's go to the monthly time frame first. Now it is very bullish. There is no question about it. There is no point back in history, like that's it. That's pretty much it. So there is no previous highs here. We go to the weekly time frame. It's an upward channel. There is no real correction in the weekly time frame. Price is pretty much hovering between the two boundaries of the channel. If we look at the daily time frame, now here we have something here. Let's analyze it. On the daily time frame, we had a breakout here and then went all the way up, down. Why is the reason for those two small rectangles? Now pay attention to this one here. If you think of it, this is an inverse head and shoulder. What is an inverse head and shoulder? This is a shoulder here. See the cursor I'm moving around. Sorry, I'll put this rectangle back again here. This is the left shoulder, and this might act as the right shoulder. And here we have the neckline, or the neckline could be this one here. This could be the neckline connecting those 2 points. Anyway, what do we get from this? What we get from this is that sometimes the price, if we cannot call it technically an inverse head and shoulder until there is a break above the neckline, but it is a potential inverse head and shoulder, potential for so far. What we have here is that we have at the left shoulder here. This is the left shoulder. With the right shoulder, we expect the price not necessarily to be at the same level of the left shoulder. It could be a little bit higher, it could be a little bit lower, but we anticipate something. We are waiting, maybe something happens. So here on the daily time frame, we see today price rejected this level here, went all the way back down, and then may end with a hammer today. If we look at maybe 1 hour chart, if there is something here. So this is how it looks like on the 1 hour chart. Pardon me. So price went all the way down, respecting this level, and then we will see. We will see. Now it's not enough to conclude that this level will be always respected from one candle, but what we need to see, what I want to say here is that in order to be bullish, we need to definitely go above here this line. We need to go above, and if it turns out to be a bullish inverse head and shoulder and it breaks above the neckline here, the neckline is the same one. Like if I take the upper boundary here, if I delete this one here, the upper boundary, this will be the neckline here. This is the neckline. So price needs to go above and then go above this area here, then we can say it is an bullish inverse head and shoulder, and we can expect higher targets. We can measure the distance from the midway of the neckline, let's say here or something, and then I mean, we go vertically. We this is the head here, and we go vertically from the head, and it touches the point here. We measure the distance here, and then add up when it crosses. We add up to this level here, and then we put our target, expect the target, expect where price would go. Of course, we are not trading the sector itself, but this will give us a rough idea where the sector is heading afterwards. Okay, so far we still need so far this is the channel here. The other scenario, of course, is that price goes down and this lower boundary here. Well, we will see. We will see how it goes. There is nothing much really to say about this sector for the time being. Okay, let's move on. Almost there, which is the materials sector. The materials sector here, if we go to the monthly time frame, we look at this one here. Now we have here a monthly resistance, and this level as well here. So this whole area is a resistance here. So you see here the monthly wick went all the way up and back. It's maybe it's a shooting star here. We'll go to the weekly. Okay, so this is what's happening on the weekly. Price rejected the level, went back down. This formation here is a rectangle. We can see it on the daily time frame clearer. We look at the daily time frame. Let me know if in the future you want me to draw this while I'm making the video, if to find out how to find the support and resistance levels and trend lines. Let me know this in the comments, please, if that's something you like to see. Anyway, sorry. So price broke. So you have a rectangle here at the resistance level, and this is the daily time frame. Price broke down this rectangle here, going all the way down. Now found some support here at this level. Not really a very strong one. We will see, because we will see if it goes back again to test this level or will continue up. Anyway, to say, well, if it goes back down, I prefer this scenario, because if this happens, I will test the reaction to the support level and see if price wants to go up again. But so far it is bearish in the daily time frame, at least. This is an inverse head and shoulder here. So you see, it's an inverse head and shoulder. This is the shoulder. This is the this is the head. Left shoulder, right shoulder. This is the neckline. This is the neckline connecting the shoulders, and this is a breakout of the inverse head and shoulder. But however, price found some resistance here. Well, maybe from the weekly perspective or the monthly perspective, it's just a minor correction or minor reaction to support and resistance. We will see. However, what we have right now is that we have a monthly resistance. This is very important to consider and understand. This is a monthly resistance. Any reaction, any bearish reaction to the monthly resistance is understandable. So this is the weekly again, and this is the daily. We will see how far this reaction or this bearish momentum in the daily would continue. Would it go down to test lower lows again, or at least this level here, or would it go above? We cannot tell now, but so far I'm assuming it is bearish trend. For me, it is bearish right now. Maybe it goes still below here, lower to test this level here at 14987. Now when it tests this level is a very strong one. Like this level, don't expect it to be broken easily. This level is a very strong level on the weekly time frame as well. It's higher than daily, and it's an important time frame. An important level. Been touched many times. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's an important one. Okay, let's move on to the next one, which is the communication one. The communication one on the monthly time frame. We'll have a look first here on the monthly time frame. Okay, we had a bearish momentum, and we now have like all this way down, and then we have a tight range, not a tight range, it's a monthly time frame, but we have a range here. We have a range in the monthly time frame. It's a big range, not tight, it's a big range. So we look now at what is happening now. What's happening now is that we did well. But the sector is now is above this minor monthly resistance. Tested it. Now it's support area now acting as support. That might be breaking out to test the higher highs now. This is understandable. It's we are above the mid of the range, and the price bounced from support and wants probably to test the high of the range. Now, in order to find out, we need to look at the weekly time frame and daily time frame and see. Okay, with the weekly time frame, there is a breakout. Now, I don't mind the price going up a little bit and then go down. It's fine. I still believe in it as bullish. This sector is bullish for sure. Here, if you take this one out, and here you see here hovering above the previous support level and then breaking out, and now it is retesting, so it's fine with me as long as it does not go below this level here, as long as it does not go below here at this level. If it goes to this below this level here, then I will say maybe we have a bearish momentum, but as long as it does not touch this level here, it is bullish for me. It is a support level, it broke out, it is retesting. There is a very high chance it goes up to test the 1358 level. Back again to the weekly. Yeah, it is a very bullish. Maybe if you want to draw a trend line here, maybe a channel or so. Maybe this one here as well. Yeah, but you still have a breakout here. You still had a breakout here, and you are on top of the support level on the weekly time frame. I would say it's bullish myself, if only if it goes to this level here, this one here, this one here. Then if it goes to here, if it goes down to this level, then it would be bearish. But so far, it is bullish. Okay, let's look at the next one, consumer discretionary. So on the monthly, in the monthly time frame, we have, okay, so this was the highest high it ever reached, the sector, and it went all the way down in 2008 and anyway picked up, and now it is breaking this level now. Let's see if it's really breaking it, or there might be some bearishness to expect. We will want to see. We want to check the weekly and we want to check the daily. And the weekly time frame, breakout on the weekly just below the monthly resistance. There was a nice breakout here on the weekly time frame, and there is a bounce up here. Now I think on the daily it will be clearer, more action, more price structure. Okay, now we have here, this is for, okay, I'll just delete one here, and we'll just think of the daily for now. So yeah, we had something, we had a range, and this is like acted as a breakout. So far it is bullish. However, I prefer, since this is a monthly resistance that has only happened once back in history in 2008, I would prefer if we have more daily candles here. I want to have maybe a trend line like this, maybe price go up a little bit and then fades it and then goes back again, giving the people who think, the traders who think, oh, it's bearish again. Well, it's not. Just to have some range here, some range. You go up and then go down, up and down, and then I draw a trend line and then a breakout, and then I can comfortably say that it is bullish. So far it is bullish. I cannot say anything else. So far it is clearly bullish, and this means that the constituents of this sector are bullish, or most of them are bullish. I'm not going to talk about stocks within the sectors right now. I'm just analyzing the sectors themselves. So the sector is bullish. Broke a monthly resistance. The candle looks nice, also, sorry, this is a weekly, this is a monthly here. It's just breaking because the month just started anyway. So this is the current month. So today is the 1st. So too early to tell. But I'm cautious, because I mean, like on the weekly, I would prefer if I have more candles, or in the daily I have some range. So it is bullish for now. We can look at the stocks and analyze them separately, because the stock, a sector that is going up doesn't mean that all the the constituents of these sectors, the stocks will all go up. It's the way we look at it is that we look at the index itself, and then we look at the sectors within this index, and then we look at candidates, stocks that have good technical analysis view, and would so all confirms with each other. And then we can trade those stocks based upon the bigger picture. Okay, now let's go to the next one, which is the industrials one. The industrials one is very bearish, of course, like I mean in the daily, but let's go to the monthly first quickly. This is the last one, by the way. Well, I mean, nothing really clear here, like it broke out and back on support here, and it's not really clear. I mean, we can argue that you can draw this one here. Okay, fine, yeah, no, but it's not really clear. There's nothing clear for me here. I mean, a bit of a range maybe here on the monthly. Yeah, maybe. That's it. We go to the weekly and daily to have a better look. There is a channel, of course. The channel is going down. It's clear. It's clear that there is a downward channel. We look at the daily. Channel is there. Well, I myself, like, I won't say it's bullish unless it breaks up the channel, the strong breakout. There is a high possibility that it continues going down to touch this level here at 5541. I mean, and this will act as support, of course. I mean, I don't expect it to break itself that quickly. If it will be bearish, I'm not saying that it will be bearish after it goes to this level here. I'm not sure. I'm just saying that it is bearish so far, and I myself will not think of it as bullish at all until it breaks this channel up. And there is a high chance it goes and tests this support here at 5542 or all the way to 5456. Give or take few points up or down. I mean, it's not set in stone. The SR levels. Okay, so that was all for the sectors. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry if it took a bit long. Let me know in the comments if anything is not clear, or if you want me to reanalyze or to rediscuss one of those sectors again. If something you didn't understand, please let me know. I thank you all, and until I see you next time. Thank you. Bye for now. Bye.